lesson, we're going to solve equations by step by step by doing operations. I want to add something. We're going to solve two-step equations. Step equations by doing them operations, just like an onion. Okay. All right, let's get straight to it. So hopefully you've written the title Learning Goal down already. So what I'm going to do is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this side with my finger. Okay, but you can't see my finger, so I've just crossed it out. And I'm looking at it. Now the goal is to get x by itself. Okay, so what are the two numbers that are stopping the x being by itself? Well, there's the 2, I covered more, the 2 and the positive 4. Really important that you speak that language, positive 4. Now, I need to move both of them, but which one do I move first? Well, I ask myself, which one's furthest from the x? If you said positive 4, you would be correct, because the 2 is stuck onto the x, all right? So we need to move that first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to do that process that I'm thinking. So I'm going to, what's the opposite of positive 4? Minus 4. So I'm going to get rid of that there. So I go minus 4 there. So what am I left with on this side? Just the 2x, because I've gotten rid of that 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that down. So I'm going to go 2x equals, and what's 6 minus 4? I mean, what's 10 minus 4? I think I gave you the answer, 6, all right? So the next thing I want to do is what's in between the 2 and the x. The mathematicians are too lazy to write. If you said times, you would be correct. Okay, so what's the opposite of times 2? If you said divide by 2, you would be correct. So we've got to divide by 2, and that means I have to divide by 2 here. Therefore, my answer is 3. Okay. I want you to try this one now, okay? So it's very, very similar to what I've been doing, okay? All right, I'm guessing that you paused the video and you tried it. I'm going to just do it quickly. So the first thing I'm going to unravel is this minus 4. So I'm going to go plus 4, plus 4. So I'm left with 3x equals 15. Now I'm going to divide by 3 because in between 3 and the x is a time, so I'm going to undo that. Now I've got to divide by 3, therefore x equals 5. Okay. All right, let's give this other equation a go. Now, we've got to think of the same thing, okay? We've got to have a situation where we block out this side. It goes, what do we need to get rid of? And if you said 2 and the 3, that is correct. Now, which is furthest away? Or, yeah, which is furthest away? Which is further away, sorry. And if you say the 3, you're correct because it's on the other side of the fraction. So we're going to move that. Now, this means divide by 3 because fraction means divide. So what's the opposite of divide? Times. So we're going to times by 3, and that gets rid of that. On the other side, I have to times by 3 also. Okay, so now I'm left with just the 2x, all right? And I'm going to go 2x equals 8 times 3. Well, 2 times 8 is 16, 24, okay? Now, I've got to think about the same thing as I did before. What's in between the 2 and the x? The mathematician's too lazy to write. If you said times, you would be correct. So we have to divide by 2, which is the opposite of times by 2. So divide by 2, therefore x equals 12. Okay? You go on and try number 2 over here. Okay, I've assumed you've paused it. I'm just going to answer the question. So I'm going to move that divide by 4 first. So I'm going to times by 4, times by 4. So I'm left with 3x equals 12 times 4. Well, that's just 48, all right? Now, I need to undo the 3 and the x. I know there's a times in between them, so the opposite of times 3 is divide by 3, so I can cross that out. Therefore, x equals 16. All right, we have one last question to go, okay? So I've got to undo this. Now, what is further away? Is it this minus 2 or is it this 2? If you said it's a 2 at the bottom of the fraction, you would be correct, yeah. So we're going to move that first. So the opposite of divided by 2 is times by 2. And the good thing about this is that we get rid of the fraction straight away. So all I'm left with is this bit up here. So I've got to write that down. X minus 2 equals 6, okay? Now I just need to move that negative 2, so the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2, therefore x equals 8. All right, you go do the next one, because you know I'm going to do it really soon. All right, press pause. Hopefully you've done the work. Times 3 gets rid of that 3, times 3. X plus 3 equals 12, minus 3, therefore x equals 9. All right, so that's the lesson on how to undo two-step equations. Peace out.